Hey, this is Smiles here with another classic game review. Today, let's take a look back at Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Always late to the party, Kirby was released well in the latter half of the Nintendo 64's lifetime in 2000. Since then, it was re-released for the Virtual Console in 2008. The story starts off in Ripplestar, where dark matter invades the peaceful planet. Ribbon the fairy takes the power crystal and flees with it. Unfortunately, dark matter catches up to her and shatters the crystal into many pieces. After crash landing on Popstar, our hero Kirby comes to Ribbon's aid. With the assistance of Rattle Dee, Adeline the Painter, and even King Dedede, Kirby sets off on an adventure to recover the crystal shards and save Ripplestar from the clutches of dark matter. Kirby 64 plays like your standard Kirby game. It's a 2D side-scroller where you float around, suck up enemies, and eat them to steal their powers. However, Kirby 64 had significant changes in gameplay mechanics. For instance, Kirby can't infinitely float and loses his breath after a period of time. If you thought you could just float around above all the enemies, think again. The biggest difference that set Kirby 64 apart from the rest of the franchise was the ability to combine abilities. After absorbing an ability, you can take it out with the R button. After throwing the star at another opponent, the two abilities will fuse together, creating a whole new power-up. While the original count of abilities is low compared to other games, combining them allows Kirby to have up to 35 different copy abilities. Some of the cooler ones include the Fireworks, Lightsaber, and Power Drill. Sure, there are some pointless ones like the Refrigerator, but who could resist the Kirby Refrigerator? It's a shame the combo ability system was never revisited. It truly made Kirby 64 an awesome game. To get farther, Kirby must collect the crystal shards. Many of the crystal shards are hidden across each stage and require a keen eye to find them. Some require you to have the copy ability combination that you can't naturally get in a stage. You'd have to backtrack to a previous stage, collect the appropriate copy ability, and then return to where the crystal shard was. Finding those shards took some serious work. It took me nearly 8 years to find them all. Many of the shards were difficult to attain, making Kirby 64 that much harder when compared to other Kirby games. Still, this opted for high replay value, and completing this game 100% was that much more satisfying. Kirby also gains assistance from his friends. Rattle Dee sometimes gives Kirby a ride in vehicles such as minecarts and water lawns. Adeline will paint a picture that would either help Kirby solve a puzzle or power him up. King Dedede was the coolest assist thus far. Kirby would actually ride on his back as you control the big penguin and smash enemies with your hammer. Unfortunately, the supporting cast rarely assists you, but this is a minor flaw. For a game with a strong single-player mode, Kirby surprisingly had a great multiplayer mode. You can compete with up to 3 friends in the minigames. In a 100-yard hop, you race against your friends by hopping either 1 or 2 steps at a time. Things get tricky when puddles and frogs are thrown into the mix. In Bumper Crop Bump, you try and collect the most fruit while bumping your rivals away. Finally, Checkerboard Chase pits you in a checkerboard arena where you must make the ground fall beneath your opponent's feet and be the last man standing. Honestly, I've spent hours playing these games. While there were only a few, these minigames certainly were more fun than those in Mario Party or Pokemon Stadium. Kirby 64 arrived very late in the Nintendo 64's lifetime, but it proved to be one of the greatest games for the system. Kirby 64 amped the difficulty from previous Kirby games and provided hours upon hours of gameplay. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards was actually my first Kirby game I ever owned, and it is a crystal clear example of what made the franchise so great.